Hello and welcome to part 3 of the tutorial. I just want to say before starting the tutorial that I'm sick, so sorry for my voice, but this is finally part 3. And here I have the final length of my front part of the sweater. You can make it as long as you want to. The important thing is that you end with half of these diamond shapes. And as a reference, I did 8.5 of them. And now we're gonna see how to close and how to do the neck part. Okay, now that I've finished these last 2 stitches, I'm gonna count from these 9 and I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. So 9 from here. Okay, so from this stitch until this stitch, we're going to close our work, and then we are going to work separately this part and then this part, and then we are going to work up and decrease some stitch from here, exactly 9. So we're going to arrive here. Okay, so I just worked this row normally, so you should have 2 purl stitch left, and then here we did 9 stitch from these. We have 3, 6, 9 stitch, and then we're going to close every stitch until this stitch marker. So I'm going to use the same method as I used for closing the sleeve. So I'm going to use a crochet hook. So you should have your stitch. Now we have to knit 1 stitch, so I'm inserting my hook, so we'll knit 1 stitch. Now that I have 1 stitch on the hook, I'm going to purl the next stitch, and then when I have 2 of them, I'm gonna slip stitch the first one. Then we have to knit another stitch and then close. Okay, now I'm gonna take these stitches work normally my purl stitch, then to slip stitch, put my stitch back in the needle, and then knit 2 stitch, now I'm gonna so this is what should look like. In this case, you can, I'm just going to knit a 2 stitch instead of doing something more difficult. It's easier to do this and it will look normal. It will just have 2 rows of knit stitch. So now that we arrived here, it's a little bit tricky and difficult to try to close this, so I suggest you to just knit every knit stitch and purl the purl stitch. So you're going to do 2 knit, 4 purl, 4 knit, 4 purl, and this until the end. While on this one, we're going to do the same as this, so we're going to work also with this. Okay, so I closed all the work. This is what it should look like. Now I'm here and I just did a purl stitch, and I have 8 left because this one count as the 9th one. So we're going to take off the crochet hook and bring this back on the needle and put this on the end of your needle, because we're not going to work with this one, but we are going to knit normally until the end of the row with our needles. So you just go back to how you did it and just knit until the end of the row, remember to work all these different shapes with this one, and I'll see you at the end of the row. Okay, I arrived at the end of the row, and now we need to knit all the stitches as they appeared, of course, because it's the wrong side of the work, until we have 2 stitches left. Okay, now that we have only 2 stitches left, we're going to knit the 2 stitches together. Just insert your needle into both of the stitch. Now turn your work. I'm not going to touch the other work for a little bit, so you can put it on another needle or just keep it on at the end of the needle. Okay, and now we are going to work again 2 stitches together. This time, since this one is a purl stitch, we need to do a knit stitch. So insert the needle into both of the stitch and just do a knit stitch. Go on with the work until the end of the row. And now again knit until the 2 stitches left. And again we're going to knit the 2 stitch together. Now turn your work. Now that we arrived here, we're going to knit the 2 stitch together. Now we're going to knit until the end of the row and work again on the wrong side until we have 2 stitches left. So when you're at this point, you should have 1 stitch and then this. And now we're going to knit all the stitches until the end of the row. Okay, now we're going to work with this part. So turn your work and we're going to touch the yarn here. When you finish this row, just go on with the next one and we'll meet again when you have 2 stitches left. Okay, now we're back at the end and we're going to knit these 2 stitches together. Then turn your work and again knit 2 stitches together. And then continue doing your work as we did before until we are again in the right side of the work and have 2 stitches left. Okay, at the end of the row, we're going to knit the 2 stitches together. Turn your work 2 together again. Again, we're going to knit this shoe together, turn your work, and knit two stitch together again. Okay, now that we just did our last decrease, we're going to knit every row until the end. So this is what it should look like. If you want to make the neckline deeper, you can decrease more stitches and also do more rows in which you knit all the stitches. Okay, now we're going to use a crochet hook to pick up all the stitches. So attach your yarn to the work and with your crochet hook enter into the stitch that you closed and pick up around like 5 or 10 stitches and then put them on your needle. This is what it should look like, and now we're going to start knitting. So this is what you look like after you close it. If you want to make just one entire part for the neck, you can always use a circular needle, but I prefer this way. For the back part of the sweater, you can just repeat the front part or just do a purl stitch. To do this, you have to do one row of purl stitch and on the right side. On the wrong side, you have to do a knit stitch. So this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys like it, and next part is gonna be the last part in which we're going to connect all the parts together. Bye!